Hello there everyone, Shibby here. Hope everyone out there is doing well and today back once again with some more Pokemon trading card game pocket ranked matches. Today's video I feel like trying out this Poliwrath deck that I've put together to see if I can manage to win a game or two online and ranked with it. I've tried a Poliwrath deck before, but it was more composed around Poliwrath and Giratina. But today I've tried to pair together Poliwrath and Glaceon just to be really annoying and see what we can get done and ranked here. But I'll have the entire deck list in the description of the video below should you want to try this deck out for yourself. And as we find some ranking matches here, I will try to explain the overall game plan of this deck, though it probably is painfully obvious what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling. Let's go find our first set of matches. All right, looks like I found my first opponent here, and we are going first. So hopefully we have a Misty in hand. Since we are playing a water deck, we do kind of have that advantage. And I do see a Misty, but do I want to... I think I want to play... I think I want to play Eevee first. And build into Poliwrath since it's a 3-stager. And if we get Glaceon soon, then we can build up to it faster than we can. Old Poliwrath here. But alright, Ditto. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen Ditto once in this game. All right, let's see if we can get done here. But yeah, I should probably explain what the hell I'm trying to do here. So if you're unfamiliar with Glaceon or Poliwrath, Glaceon EX has the effect that every time that during the transition of turns, or just, I guess, if it were Yu-Gi-Oh, we call it a standby phase. But every time the turn changes over, your opponent takes 10 damage. So I think it is good to pair that with like a Rocky Helmet, so you're doing maybe potentially 30 damage per turn. With Glaceon, while you're building up Glaceon, and Poliwrath has the same effect as Giratina, where if you attack into it, you take 20 damage. So you pair that up with a Rocky Helmet, then your opponent's doing in turn 40 damage to themselves. Now, one of the biggest problems with this deck, of course, is that well, a couple problems here. We have that, and other than getting tails on coin tosses, but obviously, Poliwrath is a 2-stage Pokemon, so it takes a little bit while to build Poliwrath up. And Glaceon, unfortunately, takes 3 energy to attack, which is not too bad, but still... Oh my god. Well, Ditto got 70,000 heads, so that did the Eevee in. But the second biggest problem is, of course, damage. If you get Glaceon going and have a desperate enough opponent that can attack into it, or Poliwrath, then you can kind of mitigate that a little bit. But Glaceon can only hit for 90, and Poliwrath can only, unfortunately, hit for 80, despite it being a 2-stager. So, yeah, that's the one big drawback. But we do have a Poliwhirl already, so we can kind of start getting that train going. So yeah, that's kind of the overall game plan and the advantages and disadvantages, if I made any sort of sense there. Alright, unfortunately we can't attack yet, but Ditto... Okay, so Ditto has to have the same amount of energy that I do in order to attack. I'm also 90% certain that this is a bot, considering the kind of deck that it's running. So, yeah, unfortunately not a real person, and Ditto cannot do anything, and a real person would not have made that mistake. So, Bot Bob, let's see what you got here, bud. I've been running into a lot of bots and trying out ranked. I think it may be just because it is a relatively new mode, and probably at the lower ranks are just not a ton of people, and they kind of want to push you up faster, is what I imagine. All right. Ditto needs 3 attack, yeah, 3 energy to attack with Poliwrath. And they want to put all the fighting energy they can in that coughing. Alright, probably, honestly, a real person would have kicked my ass by now, but we're going to take the cheap wins where we can get them. Alright, so down goes Ditto, and anything that it would potentially attack me with, they're going to take 40 damage for doing so. And ideally, the opening hand that you kind of want to have is, of course, you want your Eevee and your Poliwag. But I kind of like it better when you have Eevee in the active spot first, since you get Glaceon going faster than you can Poliwrath, and you want to get Glaceon's effect going as fast as you can as well. All right, let's oak it up and live a little here. We get a Misty and another Rocky Helmet. I'll put this Rocky Helmet into Eevee because why not? Alright, we'll just Mega Punch it out, I guess. Alright, well, we got 2 points anyway. Alright, well, they can't attack, no matter what they do, because they don't have the right energy or enough of it. They're just playing as much adamant as they can. Hey, there's a Glaceon. Nice to make for you to make an appearance here, bud. Alright, we'll just play another water energy because we can. And we'll just go ahead and win here with Poliwrath. And down goes their final Pokemon, and we get 3 points on the board. Not the most optimal or exciting start for sure, but maybe now that I've actually got my rambling, incoherent description of what this deck does, we can actually find a real person and commentary a little bit better. But yeah, I'll go find my next opponent here. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here, and by God, I think it might actually be a real live human being. Alright, let's see. We got no Eevee in sight, which kind of sucks, but we do have a Poliwag and a Poliwhirl, so not too horrible, not the end of the world. And we're going up against a Giratina, so in about 2 turns, we're going to be getting hit for 130, so we got to get some stuff going. The big bright side is that when you play Giratina and use its effect, it automatically ends your turn once you trigger it, so we do have that going for us, and there looks like they're running both Dark and Psychic energy, so... Or maybe they just might be running Dark, who knows? Alright, they can't play an energy because they went first. Alright, we got another Poliwhirl here. Alright, well, we're going to oak it up and live a little. Hopefully we get a Eevee here. And we get a Misty, not bad. So I guess we have no choice but to put a water into our Poliwag. And we'll just chip away at a Giratina here. Alright, well, we're probably going to get hit for 20, I would imagine. Because of good old Darkrai sitting in the wings there. Now, I didn't play Rocky Helmet because we're not really under threat of getting attacked just yet. But they have 2 energy into Giratina here. Alright, well, we still no sign of an Eevee or anything like that. There's the lad. And we get 2 of them. Alright. There's one. There's another. And we're going to put another energy into Poliwhirl because we're milling the deck down, so I might actually get lucky enough to draw into Poliwrath. And we'll do 40. Alright. Well, hopefully next turn I see Poliwrath. That will make this so much easier. And we can render Giratina useless if we do draw into Poliwrath. Now we can't. Well, you know, actually we still can. Because I have a Rocky Helmet. It would not, it would deter them from attacking. Alright, but next turn, we lose Poliwhirl. And there's the boy. It's exactly what I needed here. Alright, we get Poliwrath up. Gonna put an energy into Poliwrath. We're gonna evolve our Eevee into Glaceon. Put a Rocky Helmet into Poliwrath. And we're going to chance it up with Misty here on Glaceon. 2 would be awesome. There's 1. Alright, I'll take 1 over none. So we're about 2 turns behind with Glaceon. And I will attack here. Because it only leaves them with 40 life. And if they attack into Poliwrath here, then they lose Giratina. Alright, and they've opted to not put an energy into Giratina. They're going to leaf it out. And they'd rather have Darkrai take the damage, which is smart. Darkrai's still going to take 40. And 20 from Poliwrath, 20 from the helmet. And down goes the lad. Alright, ideally, I'd actually like to see another Misty here. Just to see if I could get a single health, or a single energy. We're not going to get it, but We can't really do anything, unfortunately. We just kind of have to sit and wait. I mean, I could Sabrina or Cyrus and Giratina, but unfortunately, I can't attack it. So I'm probably gonna get hit for 80 here, and then Giratina will. Well, actually, I'm gonna get hit for 130. Actually, I think I just lost because they're probably gonna just. Well, actually, no. If they do that, they can't attack. Yeah, I don't. Well, kind of in an awkward position now. Yeah, I'm in a kind of in a weird position. So we got to think this out real quick. If I attack Giratina, I take 20 damage, leaving me with 100. Which means Darkrai will, of course, hit me for 20 by putting energy into it, then hit me for 80 and take me out. Now, if I tag in Darkrai, Giratina one-shots me. Or Giratina one-shots me. And that also puts me in a lose-lose position. So, I think I have to bring in Eevee and hope for 2 heads to take out the Giratina. This is the only way I have a shot at anything. Now, this will probably most certainly be a Tails, because that is my luck on coin tosses. So my plan was never going to work. All right. Anytime I play a deck based on luck, this is what will be guaranteed to happen. Or just any, not that this deck is based on luck, but in a scenario where luck has to happen, most certainly the outcome will be me not getting what I need. Well, all right. Well, not a terrible showing. Just unfortunately just a bit unlucky there at the end. But hopefully we can actually beat a real person at some point in this video. But good game to the opponent, and I'll be back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found potentially my final opponent here. We'll see. I'm pretty sure this is another bot. So depending on how quick this goes, we might go find one more match here. Eevee versus Eevee, alright. Now we are going first, which is unfortunate. Especially since we don't have any water Pokemon right off rip. Or Glaceon or Poliwhirl or anything like that. So we will get a Poliwhirl here. Or not a Poliwhirl, a Poliwag, excuse me. Let's get the lad in here. You know, I'd like to see a Poliwrath EX. I feel like that would be cool. I don't know what kind of effect or anything that it would have, but still think that would be... why did I just try to put a Rocky helmet in the... in the bench? I have no idea. I'm out of my mind. All right. Well, we can do nothing, so we'll let them get going. And we're going with an electric, fighting, and fire deck. Interesting. All right, well, we get our Glaceon, so all good things. So we can start chipping away at this Eevee. We're not going to be able to attack for 2 more turns at least, unless I get a Misty netted here. But there's not a guarantee I'll get a heads on that. But Misty's nowhere to be found, so we'll put Poliwhirl out here. And that'll be the end of my turn, and we'll do a quick 10 to Eevee, why not? Okay, well, what kind of bot deck is this? So Arcanine, Houndoom, and Mana Trick. Alright, well our Glaceon is going to take some damage, which sucks. Misty? Another Rocky Helmet. Alright, well I'll put it to Poliwhirl, since maybe we'll see Poliwrath here soon. Alright, well I can do nothing, so here we go. Alright, so then Eevee attacks me, it goes down. If it stays in place and does nothing, it goes down. All good things. Alright, just gonna opt to attack and take itself out. I respect it. Now, if it puts in Houndoom or Entric or Manicitric, I have no idea how you say that. But either way, it's gone. Alright, let's get a water energy into our Glaceon so we can start sweeping, and we power up the Poliwhirl if we can. Alright, we do. Alright, 2 energy ain't bad. We just have a Poliwrath capitalized, but we don't really need Poliwrath right now. And the biggest Pokemon threat that we had is now gone. And there's 2 energy in the board. They're bringing the Arcanine. Makes sense. Has the most health. And it can't attack. But we're going to play Sabrina anyway and one shot whatever's on the bench regardless, so it matters not. Or actually, I don't even really need to do that. Alright, so I'll put a water energy into Poliwhirl. Evolve because we can. And we'll just go ahead and end it here. They're going to get hit for 100. Or 110, I can't add. I don't know why I thought I was doing 80. This was not Poliwrath. And we take down Dave. Dave the bot man. Alright, well there's another win on the board. I could beat the bots, it would appear, but not real people. But since that was a bot, I will go find one more match to see if we can get an actual person in here. But yeah, I'll be back when I find my next game. Alright, looks like I found my final opponent here, and I think this just might be a real lad. Alright. Alright, well we got our full Poliwag line, which is good, but we have no other basics, so if we take too much damage out of the gate, things could go really south really fast, so let's hope that doesn't happen. Alright, Mewtwo and Mewtwo, so they do need a little bit of time to build. We got a Misty in hand, so we can optimistically try to get started fast. I don't know if if the coin toss gods will allow me to get started on turn 1. No, it was never going to happen. Alright, well, I kind of knew what that was going to be before I started it, but we tried anyway. Alright, so we need 3 turns to do anything. Okay. Alright, thinking about this a lot. And they got Giratina as well, so things are not looking good for the old Poliwrath and Glaceon deck for this matchup. I honestly probably really need to hit on that Misty to have any sort of chance whatsoever here. We do get Eevee though, so all is not completely lost here. Okay. Would it be more worth it to power up Glaceon or Poliwrath? I'm thinking Glaceon because we get a little bit of extra damage and we only have to evolve 1 time. So I'm going to put Poliwhirl up front and kind of gamble on drawing one of my leaves. Is that smart? Probably absolutely not. But it's a decision I've made. Alright, Mewtwo's going to start chipping away here. Hit me for 50. Alright, we'll evolve into Poliwrath. I doubt that deters them in any sort of meaningful way, but we're going to try to do what we can here. This is probably, unfortunately, a losing effort. Alright, they're going to oak it up here. Now, do they want to do 40 damage to Mewtwo is a real question. I say 40 because I have added the 2 turns together it would take to kill me. Alright, we got a Rocky Helmet, so maybe this will make things a little bit more saucy on him. No, Glaceon's good. Now they attack into me. They kill Poliwrath, but they also take 40 damage. Leaving them with, I believe, 110. So 110, and I'll hit him for 90, which will leave 20 left. Which is not enough. I perfectly needed that to be 100. It is, actually. Okay, I can kill Mewtwo, actually. My stupid brain was not as stupid as I thought. We can make some moves here. Alright, we got Eevee coming up. And we play Pokeball, mills out the deck, and gives us our last Poliwag. I do only run 2 Eevees and 2 Poliwags. Those are our only basics, so we only got 4 to work with. And so I got a Poliwhirl in hand. I'll put it in Poliwag. And thanks to the effect of Glaceon just saving my damn life. We take this Mewtwo out. Now, I would ideally like to get Corilla in here, but they're probably they're going to bring in the Giratina. Kind of probably more or less a meat shield. And they got Gardevoir. And Mew, all bad things. I mean, if they want, that's fine. How'd they get 2? I guess, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, how'd they get 2 energy into Gardevoir? Alright, I kind of really needed Sabrina here. Now. I only got 1 point. So I'm actually gonna go full on and attack with old Poliwhirl here. Knock them down to 110. Because while yes, they could kill Poliwhirl, they will lose Giratina in doing so because they'll get hit by 10 from Glaceon when it comes in. They play a trainer card, so no Sabrina's coming, so that is their only option. Anyway, and Giratina hurts itself when it attacks too. So yeah, they just lost. Alright, they only get a point from that. They probably should just let me leave Glaceon in here. They're gonna get hit here for 10. And they are in a lose situation. Just put the helmet on there because we can. And do 90 and win the game. And down goes Giratina. And we managed to get... managed to actually beat a real-for-real person. Who would have thunk it? Alright, well, I guess... would you consider that a meta deck that I managed to beat one? Is Mewtwo, Giratina something? I don't know. But yeah, good game to the opponent. This deck did a little bit better than what I thought. I think it is a much better version of the Giratina variant I was running because Glaceon can actually attack much more efficiently and easily than Giratina can if you're going to run that variant of it. But yeah, feel free to leave me any deck ideas or notes for suggestions on how to run Glaceon or Poliwrath that it might be fun. As always, the deck list will be in the description of the video below should you want to check it out for yourself. And yeah, if you made this part of the video, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.